How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Budget Build Garage. On this episode, we introduce you guys to the blast cabinet.
So this is our super awesome Harbor Freight blast cabinet. We bought this thing when we were talking about doing some powder coating. First thing we did was we bought an oven off Craigslist for $5. Then we ended up with this. These things are $140 with the super coupon and all that stuff. They come kind of okay, but there's a lot of stuff out there you can do to upgrade them. First thing we did was some of the little stuff. We flipped all the bolts to the outside, because if you ever used them, a lot of times you can get your gloves caught on all these nuts and bolts that when they're pointed inward. So that's first thing. Second, we ditched pretty much everything else. We ran caulking beads all over every single seam on the inside to make this thing airtight. We added a super awesome vacuum to suck out all the dust through this awesome filtration system back here we'll show you. And on this side, we got a cool pressure regulator and oil separator, or water separator. Also threw in a super awesome handy light as well as a plug on this side. That's it for like the quick stuff. Let me show you some of the other cool things we've done. All right, so one of the major upgrades we did is right here. Originally, when you buy this thing, it works off a siphon tube directly in from the media inside this, the sand or walnut or whatever you're blasting. We didn't really like that. It doesn't work that nearly as well as what we did here. We put a metering valve in here. Of course, there's a bunch of different fittings to this super awesome tube here. So what happens is instead of siphoning off everything and all your media going into a bucket and then you adding it back later, this just keeps rotating back and forth. So you never have to refill it. It's automatically refilling itself. In the comments, I'll go ahead and put a list of all the fittings that you need and that we use here for you. We also drilled it directly into here, a couple grommets and everything, swapped out the air hose for a real air hose to the actual gun itself. That's some of the best stuff you can do in my opinion. It just really wakes this thing up. It's so much better with this. Back here, we added this vacuum to this awesome dust cyclone thing right here. So what this does is it sucks out all the dust that accumulates in here. If you've ever used one of these that hasn't been properly sealed like we did and doesn't have some sort of like dust catch like this, the entire room ends up just being filled with all that media and all that dust. And to be honest, you're really not supposed to be breathing all that. I think this is a really good upgrade as well. The vacuum pulls out the dust. It also makes it so much easier to see what you're working on while you're working on it. Couple little things, we added this awesome tape here. This is really more because as you're blasting, tons of media will get caught in little pockets, and as you open this door, it all ends up on the floor. We were trying to avoid that. So normally when you buy this, it does come with a light, but it's not really great. We put a 24-inch LED to an actual switch on this. We also pigtailed in and ran an electrical socket. That way we can run our vacuum off of this or anything else we might want to use. Maybe a secondary vacuum to suck the media out, stuff like that. So we thought that was a great idea. Normally, this guy right here is where it would be siphoning out all the media. We ditched that and just kind of covered it up to keep stuff from flying out while you're using it. And as far as down here, the oil and air separator, a lot of times you get a lot of humidity. You get a lot of water in the lines. You don't really want that. It's obviously really bad to have that in your air and blasting through the media. It gets kind of gunky and nasty, so that's what this is for. And the regulating pressure is super awesome, obviously. We try to get rid of every quick disconnect we could and ran straight fittings, so we're not restricting any air, because any blast cabinet, obviously, the more air, the more powerful it's going to be. We used a polyurethane sealer instead of a silicone sealer for its increased durability to seal all the open cracks and crevices. The way we handled the media recycling was by drilling a hole in the trap door and using 3/4-inch pipe to 2 T-fittings and a ball valve, and the other one to a straight barb and a hose to recycle it back in to the cabinet itself. We drilled into the existing vent cap with a 2.5-inch pipe leading into the dust deputy, which we bolted to the top of the bucket that we had cut a hole in and used some roof sealant to seal the two together. The dust deputy is one of the best upgrades you can do. It's tremendous help sucking all the dust out of the cabinet, improves visibility of what you're working on, as well as breathability in your entire shop. I highly recommend this upgrade if you're going to do any upgrade at all.
Do I use this thing?
Yeah.
Just spray it?
Yep, spray it.
Full blast? Full blast?
So that's it for this episode and the walk around of our new blast cabinet. Hopefully we'll be powder coating and cleaning parts in the next couple of videos. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have on this or any other car we got.